Hello everyone, welcome to SJEC online classes. Myself Anita Pandey, your history teacher. Today we'll start with the first chapter of history, that is the First War of Independence or the Great Uprising of 1857. In this chapter, we are going to study about the causes of the Great Uprising of 1857. Political causes, economic causes, social and religious causes, and the decline. All these topics we are going to study. By 1856, the English became the master of the whole of India. They deprived the Indians of their political rights, annexed the Indian states, and followed the policy of economic exploitations. Popular discontents and hatred against the company administration and the foreign rule gained strength in Indian people. Now we come to the causes of the Great Uprising of 1857. First, political causes. There were many political causes of India and Indian rulers against the British rule. First, policy of annexation followed by Lord Dalhousie. The doctrine of lapse all around annexation of Indian states, abolished the title and pension etc., had made most of the Indian princes and rulers stern enemy of the British. Lord Dalhousie annexed the states of Satara, Jhansi, Nagpur and many other small states by doctrine of lapse. According to this doctrine, if the ruler of a subordinate state dies without a heir, his adopted son was not allowed to occupy the throne, and the state was annexed to the British Empire in India. Second, disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah. The house of Mughal was also humbled when the English announced that after the death of Bahadur Shah II, the Mughal would lose the title of kings and his successors would have to vacate the Red Fort. It hurt the sentiments of the Mughals. It has been rightly remarked that the increase in the disrespect shown by the English to the emperors increased an adverse of the Indians for the British. Third, ill treatment of Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmi Bai. Baji Rao II, the last Peshwa, adopted Nana Sahib as his son. After the death of the Peshwa, the English refused to acknowledge Nana Sahib as the ruler of the Marathas. The Rani of Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai, was also not allowed to adopt a son. They became sworn enemy of the English. This policy created resentment among the Indians. Next, the annexation of Awadh. Lord Dalhousie annexed Awadh to the British Empire in India under the pretext of misgovernance. It threw thousands of noble gentlemen, officers, and soldiers out of job. It created dissatisfaction among all classes of the people of Awadh. Fifth, disbanding the armies of the annexed state. All the such states that were annexed by the company had their troops disbanded. As a result, thousands of families lost their means of livelihood. The disbanded soldiers blamed the British company for their ruins and were determined to take revenge. Effect on other princes. The annexation policy of Lord Dalhousie also made the other Indian rulers whose state had been not annexed. Suspicion and uh, affair created among them that one by one day even their state will be annexed. 7. Corruption in inefficient administration. The British administration in India was corrupt and inefficient. The British had a feeling of superiority and treated the Indians with contempt of arrogance and insulted them. The main aim of English officers was to enrich themselves at the cost of Indians. The Indians did not consider them as the benefactors. The British rule had thus become unbearable. Next, we come to the social and religious causes. The interference in the social and religious life of the Indians also led to the uprising of 1857. Some of the social and religious causes were: first, British started interference in the social and cultural custom of Indians. The Christian missionaries adopted various methods to spread Christianity in India. They made violent attack on Islam and Hinduism. They began to interfere in Hindu and Muslim religious belief, custom and tradition. They began to convert Indians to Christianity by offering them jobs, rewards, promotion, etc. Even in the schools and in the jail, also the Bible was taught. Then, second, social and religious reforms. The practice of sati was abolished. Child marriage and polygamy was also considered as illegal. Widow remarriage was legalized. The people thought that the British were unnecessarily interfering in their religious matter and wanted to ruin their social orders. So they became against towards the British rule. Third, dissentiments among the Hindus and the Muslim priests. The spread of Western culture and education gave a severe blow to the honor, influence, and privilege of the Pandit and Maulvis. They began to say that our religion and custom are in great danger. They held the English responsible for their loss of their privilege and began to provoke people against Britishers. Fourth, introduction of railway and telegraph. The introduction of railway and telegraph had also created suspicion and fear in the minds of people. They thought these were introduced to spread Christianity, and those who were against of Christianity would be thrown before the railway engine and hanged by the telephone poles. Fifth, introduction of new law. The government taxed land belonging to the temples and the mosque or the charitable institutions. It hurt the religious sentiments of the people. The people began to think that the government was bent on converting them to Christianity. Sixth, ill treatment of the Indians. The English belonged to the ruling class and had a feeling of superiority. They looked down upon the Indians and treated them with arrogance and often insulted them. They crossed all their limits and humiliated Indians. In short, there was unrest and a feeling of discontent among the masses because they believed that the government was interfering in their social orders, destroying their religious customs and beliefs, and converting them to Christianity.